I'm going to explain the #1 mistake you need to avoid when buying a house in Raleigh, North Carolina, so that you are empowered to make the best decision for you and your family. I'm Erica, a Raleigh Realtor, and I absolutely love to serve as your realtor in the Greater Raleigh area to help you buy or sell. Reach out to me whenever you're ready. All of my contact information is always in the description below. Be sure to stay to the end for advice that I give my own buyer clients when they are facing this decision. So let's get into this video. The #1 mistake to avoid when buying a home in Raleigh, North Carolina is not understanding what due diligence is. So in a lot of other states, due diligence operates a lot differently than it does here in North Carolina. So not understanding due diligence is not always the fault of the buyers. As a realtor, it is our job to educate our clients so that they feel empowered to make the best buying decisions or selling decisions for them and their families. And so, unfortunately, not every realtor takes the time to explain everything in the real estate process that you may go through as a buyer. That is why it is extremely important to choose a realtor who not only shows you the beautiful houses that fits your criteria, but also choose a realtor who will educate you on the real estate market so that you can make the best decisions for you and your family and you never lose money. So what exactly is due diligence? Let me explain the purpose behind due diligence, and then we'll get into the two parts, the due diligence check and the due diligence period. So the due diligence is your opportunity to, as a potential buyer, to inspect the property. You can get surveys done, you can get quotes done, to do all of the due diligence on the property before moving forward with it to the closing table with it. And so this is an amount of money that you decide as a buyer that you're willing to risk, because here in North Carolina, due diligence is non-refundable. Due diligence is non-refundable. Due diligence is non-refundable. And I know it sounds absolutely crazy, but no matter what, you do not get that money back. So you decided the highest check I've written has been $88,000 and the lowest I've written has been $1,000. But you decide that amount as well as the time period, how many days your due diligence period lasts. The due diligence amount is paid to the seller immediately upon your offer being accepted. Another thing I like to say about due diligence is that it's almost important, if not more important, than the actual offer price. Because if, for instance, if we have a house that's $500,000 and you have two buyers who offer $500,000. Susan offers $500,000 and Bob offers $500,000. Well, maybe Susan offers $20,000 in due diligence, where Bob offers $10,000 in due diligence. So then there's a little bit of a gap of which offer could be the best in terms from the seller's point of view, because the due diligence is paid to the sellers. So what we see in reality in the market is that due diligence is being used as the tiebreaker when there are multiple offers. Now, the other terms matter as well, but purchase price is typically #1, and then right after that is the due diligence amount, usually. So that is not to say that if you don't have $20,000, that you cannot find a home in the triangle. We would have to look at some other things. Now I'm going to get into the advice that I give my buyer clients when considering the due diligence amount as well as the due diligence time period. So for the time period, I recommend my buyer clients do at least 21 days. Usually we can get a home inspector out within a week, but the concern is the surveyor. If you desire to have a survey done, those surveys take a little bit longer, and so we recommend that you do at least 21 days for your due diligence period. So that's the simple part. Now the harder part is, what do you actually set as the due diligence amount? Well, now I must say that this varies based off the person's financial situation. So everything in real estate is personal to you and your personal situation. The first thing is we look at what you are comfortable with as a buyer. I never recommend putting yourself in a financial hardship to buy a house. You do not have to do that. We can find the right property at the right price that works for you and your family, where you can avoid the financial hardship and trouble of stretching yourself above what you can afford to get into a house. We do not have to do that, and so I do not recommend my clients go to a point where they're uncomfortable financially with the due diligence amount. So first we discuss that. Then one of the really cool tools of working with me as an agent is that I do a probable sales price report on any property my clients are interested in offering in. And so not only does that pull all the comps in the area to give you a range of what to offer and possibly what an appraiser will look at so that there is no appraisal gap, which that's a whole other story. This probable sales price report also gives you the average and high amounts for due diligence. So that is a really, really great tool that I do for every property that my clients are interested in making an offer on. And so it is lengthy, but it is very, very helpful in terms of making offers and what numbers to go for, so that you're not shooting in the dark. You do not have to abide by those numbers. They are just data and information so that you can make an educated decision on what your numbers are for the properties that you want to offer on for you and your family. And so I'd absolutely love to have the opportunity to work with you, serve as your realtor, help you buy or sell in the Raleigh area. Reach out to me. All my contact information is in the description below. If you're not quite sure or you have more questions, feel free to reach out, drop them in the comments. Feel free to reach out to my contact information in the description below. Be sure before you go to like and subscribe to my channel for all things Raleigh real estate. So until next time, that's it. That's all. Bye, y'all.